SureManCool. That's the Dirty Tooth, and you are watching Level Best. Tonight, we're going to be talking about how PlayStation will no longer be making discs for their games as of January 2028. I think that's crazy.
Boo.
And everybody's talking about it. I don't think, there's a nuanced take to have anymore about this, but I think I mostly wanted to talk about this because the idea of physical media, of actually having a disc in a box, holds a lot of meaning for me. I think for us, I think I can safely speak for you, Tooth,
Yeah.
and holds a lot of memories and nostalgia. And I don't know, maybe we're just at that ripe age where that stuff matters, or matters to us. I imagine a younger person, a much younger person, this doesn't matter as much to them. It's like, well, most things are digital, yeah. But like, my grandma has like a shelves and shelves of DVDs and VHSs that she, bought over decades.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like my grandma when it comes to video games to an extent, but even I have stepped away from physical media quite a bit. So I'm curious, Tooth, what's your history with physical media?
History wise, I had a ton of DVDs growing up. I had a ton of VHS tapes. My grandma would buy them from yard sales. My parents would get them at yard sales. Like that was like a thing that was just it wasn't a new game that you unwrap the plastic off of, but it was a new game to you that you got only because it was a physical copy that someone else could sell. And I think it's not just the nostalgia. And I don't think you should like feel like a grandma about it. It's like a loss of something more than that. Like it's a loss of like the the thing of like a lot of stuff. Sharing games, passing games across to each other, like so I think sharing games at school is like a thing that I did a lot.
A big thing. I
Yeah.
distinctly remember the only reason that I owned a copy of Fallout New Vegas was because a buddy of mine let me borrow it, but we didn't say like, "Can I have this back in 2 weeks?" So I just kind of kept it.
Yeah.
And like a year and a half later or something, he's like, "Yeah, remember that game I let you borrow? Just keep it." Which isn't often the case. I don't think moving forward,
Yeah.
kids growing up with video games will have that experience of borrowing or letting someone borrow your game and either keeping it or never seeing it again. You know what I mean? Like you sometimes games just go, or you like have an even trade and you're like,
Yeah.
"Here, you play this game that I have and I'll play this game that you have, and then we'll trade back." And then you do trade back. But it's all in the honor system and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Um or not to mention garage sales.
Yeah.
Going to a garage sale and finding like a sick treasure trove of, grandma has her son's Dreamcast that he never brought with him and a bunch of games and extra controllers. Yeah,
Mhm.
you can have all this for like 30 bucks. I don't care. Whatever, just get it out of my garage. I don't know. There's always going to be those experiences because video games have existed for a long time. Those old things will always exist, but it's not going to happen in that same way for newer stuff. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, I think it's Sony has talked about this as like a straightforward thing, of the future. Like, okay, nobody buys physical games anymore. Like the majority of people buy digital, and I'm not gonna lie, I buy most things digital now, but
Same.
that doesn't mean that there aren't people out there that buy physical games. I think the physical game world is still alive and healthy. Like think about those old games that you're talking about. Like the sell of NES games is just as strong now as it used to be. I
Yeah,
think.
Zombie's showing up, showing his Halo 2 Steelbook edition. which came
Yeah.
packed in with some extra little goodies.
I only have the limited collector's edition disc and the actual game disc underneath, but Steelbook. I even, as a youngin, I even wrote my name up here and said Aaron's Halo 2 limited collector because I didn't know
Right
what the
on
disc
the
could be worth
yeah.
like $1 billion in 10 years because I didn't think of that. But yeah, like people aren't gonna get this stuff anymore. You know, it's gonna
No.
be all digital or
No.
whatnot. You lose that feeling of like coming home from the GameStop and in the car and you're like looking at the directions on the back at the biopic, whatever at the
Yep.
synopsis, and
Or
you're
just
like, oh, this is so cool.
sitting in the store and just pulling game off the shelf after game and reading the back of it like you're saying. Or even like going to Walmart with your mom and you're like, "You know where I'll be, mom?" She's like, "I'll see you over there in a little bit." And you're just in the video game section, the electronics section, looking up, getting a kink in your neck cuz you're looking up while you're playing the game, the
Yeah.
demo kiosk. uh I don't know. I don't like. I imagine if discs go away, all that goes away with it. Maybe not. Maybe there'll still be those kiosks at stores,
There
um,
there already
for to sell the
isn't.
consoles.
There already really isn't. Like I know at our Walmart, Nintendo is the only one that has an active display where you can actually try something out, which is the
Whoa.
Switch. Like Xbox doesn't have one, PlayStation doesn't have
Yeah,
one. None of the,
you just blew my mind. Switch is the only one I've seen recently. That's crazy.
yeah. And I think that
I don't know.
it's like it's crazy to think about. So I read an article where like there's only 13% of people in a poll that support a fully digital future. Very low number. That means 71% of
Yeah.
people aren't ready to lose those physical games. And I was just thinking about it, and Zombie, you're like showing the Halo 2 disc reminded me like I remember distinctly when the Xbox came out and Halo came out. I remember sitting down at Christmas hoping that that's what I was going to unwrap, and I did. You can't, you won't have that anymore. Like imagine like
Yeah.
I like get like we just did the Father's Day edition of um games on deck. Just think
Yeah.
about that. When our kids are old enough, we can't get them a video game to open on Christmas.
Well, that's the thing. I think part of this new future is going to be there's still like there's still boxes on shelves, but then it just has like a slip of paper or a piece of cardboard with
Yeah.
a code on it where you redeem it on the digital store and download it digitally. So, maybe we're getting a little ahead of ourselves and saying, no, oh, you can't read the back of the box anymore and things like that. When, maybe you will be able to. We don't know what it's going to look like yet, but there's a lot of stuff that is going to be going away with it. Like, do you think in that box where the code for the game download is, do you think they're going to have a packed in, folded up map of GTA 6 or what, the next thing? Like, yeah, like this old GTA 5 map that came packed in with the game,
Oblivion.
or Skyrim, same thing.
Yeah.
um, or many other games, many other games. There's probably a ton of examples. A big example for me from my past, because I was a poor child growing up. I didn't have Xbox Live Gold, but I was desperate for it because all I wanted to do was play Call of Duty on my neighbor's Wi-Fi, but I didn't have gold. And so I'd either have to make a new account, which with a
Mm-hmm.
new account you get 1 month of free Xbox Live, or I'd beg all my gamer friends, like, "Hey, did you get the new game? Did you get Gears 2? Did you get the Xbox Live Gold card? Like, you don't need that, right? Let me get that." And every now and then a buddy would be like, "Oh, here, I heard you were needing one of these," and he'd hand it to me, and it would be like literal gold in my hands. I'd be
Yeah.
so stoked to go home and put that code in, get my free month.
Dude, it honestly it's like if you really think about it, that doesn't exist already. Like we've already
Yeah,
like
that's already yeah.
not even just the Xbox Live thing, like like you open a game disc from something, there's nothing in there. Like, there's no book really. There's no maps. There's nothing in it. There's nothing
Yeah,
in
I'm
any of
trying to
them.
think. I think the last most recent physical game that I bought was probably for the Switch or Switch 2. I think I have a hard copy of uh, Mario Kart World, but I forget if anything came in the box with that. What you got there? Expansion Pass,
This is Destiny 2,
Destiny 2.
and this is the only things that are in there. So, no game book, no directions, no controls like that it used to be. Like you'd open up the box, that's where you'd learn about all the controls for the game. They're just they're just not there. I mean, in any of them.
It's been going downhill for quite a while.
Yeah.
I feel like as far as physical media goes, which I think the biggest thing in this regard is probably game preservation and like true actual ownership of your games. Because if you're just downloading games and it requires a download, every time,
Yeah.
which I think, I don't know because I always have internet. But if your internet goes out, what's the reliability on being able to play the games you own?
If you
If
don't
it can't
have
like
internet.
check the internet, if it can't authenticate that you own that game, and then how are you going to be able to play it? I don't know how that works for between Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. Um, I don't know. I shouldn't even bring it up if I don't know, but I have this feeling like it's going to cause problems.
If I have
I don't
if,
ever.
if I don't have internet, I almost don't have a game that I can play. Like, except on my Switch or an emulator. Like, most of the games take an internet connection to play them.
I don't know. I'm trying to think because like I I brought my Steam Deck with me somewhere while we were in the car waiting, and I was playing my Steam Deck. I didn't have internet, and I was able to play the games I had downloaded. So maybe there's something there where it's not. That's maybe I'm thinking too much. But I worry about that actual ownership. Whereas these older games, if you have the disc, you have the whole game. I
Yeah.
feel like more and more recently, if you have the disc, you have a key to download the game. When you put in the disc, you still have a bunch of downloads and then a bunch of updates and patches and stuff. And so I don't know. It's just all
It's
all evidence is leading to a future without discs. Between everything being streamed these days, movies wise, um, I don't know. It's just a matter of time till we don't see discs in general, like at all.
yeah.
I feel like Sony is just kind of knocking down that first hurdle.
Yeah, I mean Xbox is watching close, right? Because they're like that's the next move for them, like the next natural progression, right? And it's not something new to Xbox. Xbox has been doing this for a while now, like producing digital games, digital download games. Like even before I think it was I think it was the PlayStation 4 maybe, but I remember like Xbox starting to offer digital download games and PlayStation saying like no, like we're going to like don't worry about it. Like you don't have to worry about losing the discs with PlayStation. Like you can play between like compatibility was still a thing and Xbox was losing it, PlayStation was picking it back up a little bit better. And now it's like everybody's abandoned it. Like it's just gone.
I don't know. The consoles have been coming out with a discless version
Mm-hmm.
For the past like couple generations, and so it's not that big of a surprise that this is happening. But it's just a bummer that one of the big three, one of the big ones, are actually laying down the hammer, and then they get all this feedback. Everybody's up in arms about it, and they haven't walked it back. I don't think they're going to walk it back.
No.
This whole we're not doing discs anymore in a year and a half. And then Xbox is, like you said, right on board. But they have, at least when they say, hey, we might, Project Helix might not have a disk drive either, but or it might not come out, our new games might not have discs either, but the discs that you do have, at least we have a this whole disc to digital deal going on. What's it called? Starts with a P.
P.
Yeah, it's this whole Xbox.
Positron? Is that what you said?
Positron.
I don't think
Positron.
that's a
Yes,
thing.
Positron.
Positron.
Xbox Positron. So if you have a physical game, you can convert it to being digital, which is,
Worse.
I
That's
guess it-
worse. You're taking your physical thing that you had, that you owned, and you're converting it to a digital license that could go away.
right, but you still have that disc.
You still have that disc, but how long are you going to be able to keep it and play it, on, like, you'll never be able to keep going generation to generation. You'll have to be sitting there with your Xbox One or Xbox Series X digital or non-digital version when Project Helix comes out, because you won't be able to play that disc on it.
The only thing I can think of is that they are jumping on the, no disc future bandwagon. They're allowing you to digitize your physical media library of games so that in the future when they come out and their, next Xbox doesn't have a disc drive at all, they're like, well, this whole time you could have digitized all of your discs
Yeah.
so that you can still have access to that whole library on this digital only console. And so it's like, at least they're allowing you to still use, like, Xbox has always been really good about backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
And so they're allowing you to still use all those old games that you have within the new digital only landscape. I haven't heard of PlayStation offering anything like that. I feel like it's pulling teeth to even be able to play old games on PlayStation.
Yeah.
I'm not a big PlayStation guy, but I don't know if you can put in a PS2 game into your PS5 and actually be able to play it. I'm like 99% sure you can't do that, whereas you can put an Xbox 360 game in your Xbox Series X or whatever and be able to play that.
Can
That's
you
kinda wild.
Can you still do that though?
Yeah.
I thought Series X stopped that compatibility.
We need a fact check.
I think
What-
they
what-
only have a specific catalog of games. Not every Xbox or Xbox 360 game you can plug into a modern gen console. I think they have a list on their site, actually, Xbox, about all the games that are backwards compatible. Because I remember looking at that list to see if Brute Force would ever pop up on that list one day, and it never did.
Okay, so there is a whole list, of Xbox backwards compatible titles. There are 632 games according to Wikipedia on the backwards compatible list out of 2,155 games released for Xbox 360. So, like,
It's pretty good.
maybe a little over a quarter. Yeah, that's still
Yeah.
really good, but
Still pretty good.
not not perfect.
No. And
a lot of games.
I think that that's sort of the problem. But the thing with PlayStation, the PlayStation 5 has backwards compatibility. The PlayStation 4 did not. But the PlayStation 5 can still support select digital games for PS1 and PS2, just similar to the Xbox. There's like a list of games that are still available for it. But I think that'll still go away because you can't put the disc in it and they'll be able to pick and choose what games they'll support in that digital library. And so it's not like they're, they're going to allow it forever. They could turn the switch off at any moment. Like if they don't want to support a license anymore, or say, like, I'm thinking like some of the games that are specifically licensed, like, I don't know, like Lord of the Rings games or Harry Potter games, like say that there's something going on with a license agreement between owners, like that they could pull that whole game series away, and
Yeah.
that couldn't happen. And I think that that's something that's interesting. Like imagine that, I don't know, imagine that Disney does something and pulls a license away from Kingdom Hearts, and you no longer can play Kingdom Hearts games in general on PlayStation. They're gone. I think
It's crazy, man.
that's the biggest thing that I have a problem with, is that like we're giving up all control to the game companies. Like,
We're not giving it up. You know what I
well,
mean?
they're
We don't have a
taking it.
say.
They're taking it.
They're taking it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not something that we have access to be able to fight. It's their thing.
Yeah.
They get to do whatever they want with their thing. So it's just a choice. If can you pull up the PlayStation blog post about pulling up or removing discs, no more discs? Look at this really long, extremely long, in-depth post that they made about no longer providing discs. It's about 3 paragraphs. I think that those second 2 paragraphs, maybe 2 sentences each. I'm just saying there's not a lot of info here.
Yeah.
If there's more info elsewhere, that'd be great to know. But as far as I know, this is all that has officially been said by Sony or by PlayStation, by either one. Maybe there have been one-off tweets here and there, but other than that, I feel like people are taking this info and running with it, which of course they should, because
Yeah.
this is all we know. But one thing leads to another. It's not too complicated to figure out where this leads.
Yeah.
But also, I want to know if, with the disc to digital thing Xbox is doing, I wonder if there's a similar thing that PlayStation has planned. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to expect moving forward. I do want to just kind of like play it by ear and not drive myself nuts thinking about all the possibilities.
Yeah. I think
I
the
don't know.
problem is that PlayStation and Sony they're not gonna say a lot more. They don't need to. Like they're playing it off as like really cut and dry. Like digital sales outpace physical sales. Check. That's happening. Like consumers would rather have the convenience of downloading it than going to the store to buy it. Check. That's happening too. And they're making this claim that ending disc production could help them put resources elsewhere, which is like such a silly thing to say in 2026, when it's like, if you're making it already, like, what, you can't take 10 seconds to put it on a disc also? That's a crazy thing to say.
It's
I
just
think.
money. It's time and money and resources is required for that.
Yeah.
And it's just at the end of the day, it's greed. They want number to go up, and they're finally pulling the trigger on this thing because I guess maybe they don't want to cut any more studios or cut more people's jobs. They're going to do that more in the future anyway. But I don't know. This is just the next thing on the chopping block in order to get that number to go up for the shareholders to make them happy. And it's yucky. It's yucky and gross. And I don't like it.
I want to like just throw this out there as like one last point that I have, and it's, I remember going to video rental stores, Blockbuster, renting video games, physical video games, bringing them back, playing them. So that obviously is not a thing anymore. But think back to the reasons that Blockbuster and video rental stores don't exist anymore. And now project that into a digital future for video games only, and think about places like GameStop, the electronics department of Walmart, all these mom and pop game stores. Think about all of those things. That is a very real possibility of those places not existing anymore.
Oh well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, true. I think like retro game stores, mom and pop, like
The
game
retro
stores,
ones, yeah.
typically are more retro. But no more new stuff will become retro. There won't, at least nothing physical besides the consoles. And maybe there's a limited run games which often takes digital only, like indie games, and has a limited run of actual discs and merch and things that you can buy for that game. Really cool concept. I love that. And I also think that these things come back around. So I think it's easy to be all doom and gloom, but I think like vinyls are today. They're a collector's piece for artists that want a little something else for you to buy, and people that want a little something on their shelf, or in a stack, collecting dust in a box in a garage. Uh, people buy vinyls for new albums that just come out, and that's still a possibility for the future of games where especially indie games, I feel like would jump on that, where it's like, no, we want a disc for our games, so here, pop this into your console, or if you happen to have a disc drive on your computer. I don't know, I haven't had a disc drive on my computer ever. At least not in a long, long time.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. I feel like it'll
Yeah.
become more of a collector's thing for publishers or developers that want that. It'll be an
Yeah.
option. It'll cost money though. And you know who is a big component of creating a game disc is Sony.
Yeah.
Sony is one of the handful of companies that actually create Blu-ray discs. And is that them, is Sony as a whole going to stop creating Blu-ray discs?
I
I don't know. They might have already. I don't know.
listen, I'm like, it's not really a doom and gloom thing. It's just understandable. Like if it's a money reason, like one of their reasons, like of course, like going digital saves the money of disc production. And then okay, like a physical game box will arrive to GameStop, arrive to Walmart, arrive to Target, arrive to these places, and it'll have a code inside of it. But how long before that's like, why are we wasting all of this logistics shipping these empty boxes around before the boxes go away? Any physical resemblance of a game just doesn't make sense after that. Doesn't make sense to have it.
It doesn't. I don't know. It's just a bummer.
Imagine everybody's PlayStation 5 games that they have right now being collector's editions because it's the last run of a physical game ever.
Every console has that moment where no more new games are made for it, and so it's just, what did I say, 2,155 or something Xbox 360 games? That's a lot.
Yeah.
That number's not going up anymore these days. It happens for every console eventually, but to end it as a whole, and no more. Every single one of those 2,000 whatever games had a digital hard disk that game was put on. I guess unless it was like an Xbox 360 arcade game. Let's just not talk about that. But you know what I mean. You
Yeah.
know what I'm getting at. I don't know. It's the end of an era, though. We'll see how it all shakes out. I want to end this discussion by asking you if you have a physical game that in your house somewhere that means something to you.
Yeah.
And what is it? Tell me about it.
I have the original Halo and Halo 2 that I got for Christmas. I have both of those. I don't have them like in my presence, but I have both of those. And yeah, I got them for Christmas. I played both of those games with my dad and friends, and toted them around everywhere to the point where I'm like zombie. Like I had my initials in them because I wasn't gonna have some friend steal them from me.
That would have been
Yeah, that would have been you. Yeah, I would have let you borrow
me. Yeah.
them.
Same though. I have. I mean, I bought Shenmue 3. I liked Shenmue back in the day. I was excited to hear finally a third one was coming out. Finally, I own Shenmue 3 physical disc, still in the shrink wrap, unopened. I haven't opened it. I haven't played it yet. I still have it. It's ready to be played anytime I want. But it's just chilling in a drawer in the living room by my consoles. I have a whole collection of NES games back here. And
Yeah.
then in an old CD, like you unzip it and there's a whole you flip through all the CDs that you have.
Mm-hmm.
I have a whole thing full of some of my original Xbox games that I had from back in the day, and a couple PlayStation 2 games, just some old games that I spent a lot of time playing that somehow, through all the moves and all the storages and all the selling and whatever, somehow stood the test of time for me.
Yeah.
And then I also remember giving away a lot of my Xbox 360 games to an old roommate, and not too long after really regretting that, because I wish I still had those games now,
Yeah.
but I just gave them up. You can have them, and I walked away, and I don't know, it's kind of cool. It's like a physical trail of where you've been as a gamer,
Yeah. I think it's something that I think right now, like, we're starting to see, like, like the world of Fortnite and Roblox, and kids aren't going to have that feeling. Like when they're our age talking on a podcast through their brain implants, like, they're not going to have this moment of talking about this. It doesn't exist.
They'll have their own version of this.
Yeah. Their Roblox
Somehow.
history.
Yeah. But yeah, or Fortnite will get shut down because it's lost players or something. I don't know, but
That's
it'll get
crazy.
shut down, and all those little mini games that they used to play or whatever workshop maps,
Yeah.
gone. End of an era. I don't know. They'll have their own version of this though, surely. So don't worry about that. I don't know, man. I wanted to end this on a positive note, just thinking about the things that we like about our own physical games
Yeah.
collections or things like that. But that's it. Ultimately, this is a pretty sad thing, and you look into the future of where this leads, and nothing positive really will come of it. Besides, you'll save room in your house.
That's true.
You won't have shelves filling up with game cases.
I think
That's good.
Honestly, I think we've had this at every era switch. Like when the displays at Walmart went away, like when game stores like EB Games shut down and GameStop opened, and there's a lot of things that have happened at the end of every next gen console coming out. This is just that next moment. Like, we're seeing something that we've had forever go away. And I think everybody's going to be hurt by it.
Yep. I'm going to be looking at my kids' game library on their, they'll be scrolling through the hundreds of games they have on their whatever console at that point. And I'll be like, man, back in my day, you used to be able to take all these games, bring them into GameStop, and get about $5 for them, $15 for all these games. It wasn't worth it, but it was an option. And now you won't be able to sell anything unless they go the Nintendo Switch 2 route, where you have you have your physical game card, and then they have like a digital game card that belongs to you, and it's your thing, but it's all digital.
Yeah.
I don't know how exactly it works, but sometimes I go to boot up a game and they say you need to insert or you have like a digital game card. I don't know how exactly it works.
It's an NFT. It's the blockchain.
It's basically a Nintendo Switch NFT game.
Yes.
I don't know. Anyway, let us know what you think down in the comments. Are you bummed about this? I'm sure you probably are. Let us know how and why. Let us know what angle we haven't taken on this, because I'm sure there's a million different ways to think about this issue. Let us know what you're thinking and what we maybe missed down in the comments. If you like this video, give it a like. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Become a level bestie today. And go easy on us, because we're just kind of talking out our butts. But there's so many different ways to think about this issue. I just hope, I don't know, I hope it comes to I hope it settles.
Just complain with us in
To a
the
place we-
comments. Boo PlayStation. Boo.
Boo PlayStation.
Boo Xbox.
Boo Xbox.
Boo.
Suck. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.